I gotta be in the show first for it to go. Okay, now is it going? Now is it going? Hello? Oh, it's going there on mine, but is it going here? On what's going on here? Now, why isn't it working? Okay, I'm not sure why it's not working. Okay. Now, let me see now. I know Esther's probably wondering where I am. Okay, here we go. Wait, I gotta get that first. Okay, hold on. Need to share or invite. Okay, copy. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's your link. All right, there's your link. Come on over. Subject to your messenger there. You can hop on and share that with Jesse as well. Where I can. Where's Jesse at? There's Jesse. I got his messenger. Oh, now I got a message. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'll send you the link anyway, just in case. Okay, just in case. All right, we are here. Okay, we are live. Okay, now back over here. Okay, close that. Okay, there you go. Okay, now we're just waiting for somebody to show up. Anybody to show up like that. Hey, Amethyst, how you doing? Oh yeah, I'm just a little bit late tonight. Sorry about that. I'm waiting for my co-host to get over here. I sent her the link on her messenger. Now we'll see if she gets that link and gets over here. All right. Okay. Yes, sir. Oh, there you are.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on? All right.
Not a whole lot.
We started being like,
How are you?
all right. Okay, we got the audio working on the radio, so that's good. Okay, good. So everything's working fine. So, all right. So Jesse mentioned he might not be able to make it tonight. So apparently he's busy doing some things. So working on stuff. So what's going on? How you been?
Yeah, not a whole lot. Trying to figure out how to turn the volume up.
Okay. On your speakers, I mean,
Yeah, up here at the top.
are you on your computer or
Yeah, I'm on the laptop.
okay? So on the there should be a volume thing on the bottom. There's some tabs there. You got the mute for your microphone. You got the camera settings, or you can just go to settings, click on the settings tab,
Okay,
and look for the audio adjustment.
got it.
My mic is way low, apparently. Okay, so let me check that while we're at it.
Okay.
Okay, let me see. Oh, it says it's working, so I don't know. Mine said it's working. Okay. Oh, there you go.
Testing speakers on string.
That's loud.
Huh.
I heard that. Now, how do I change this now? I don't know. Let me see. Oh, you know what? Okay. I got that all the way up. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, I guess that's what we're going with.
Okay, well, now you can turn on the YouTube screen or the Facebook screen, whatever. You can use that.
Yeah.
And you don't hear that. You just hear something. That makes sense. So if you're on the Facebook screen,
Mhm.
you can get that on that site. Or that site.
All right. There's a long delay.
That's on Facebook site. Okay.
I guess we'll just go with this because the delay.
Okay. Well, okay. What do I hear myself? Andy shut up.
Can you see the comments?
On the right hand side.
Okay. Mhm.
I don't know. Okay. I need to go. Why don't I get open? Yeah, that's not on. What do I hear? See, I still hear you. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, okay.
I might have to just do it this way instead of that way.
Okay. My mic is terrible. How is it terrible? I mean, now I don't hear myself. Okay. My mic is a headset mic. How is it terrible? Okay, well, we're fixing that. Okay, well, why is mine not working right? Andy, I don't know how to fix it. I have no clue. I don't know how to fix it. I had it set last time. The last couple of times I had it working just fine. So what's the problem here? Why is it doing that? See, that's working. So what do you mean it's not working? I don't understand. Okay, hold on, wait. Now I need to go to control panel. Okay. Got you. I got it. I don't know why it would change, but why did it change? Device manager. Okay. audio, sound, and live card, live sound card. There we go. The properties. Oh, that ain't gonna help me. That ain't gonna help me there. I don't see any way to fix this, Andy. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go to control panel and sound. There we go. Recording, microphone, headset microphone. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's why. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna disable it.
Okay, your mic is muted.
I muted myself.
There
Okay.
you go.
Okay. It's like I just started doing this, so I don't know. No, not really. But anyway, seems
Yeah.
like that. Seems like that sometimes. All right, is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
All right, now Andy, does it sound better on your side, Andy? Of course, Andy's in the UK, so he's a little far away. It might be that. Okay. So I was wondering, Jesse had posted something about a big thing that was written about I don't know how many pages or whatever about different experiences of the electrical issue that you guys are studying, right? You saw that post, right?
Yeah, I did. He updates his website page on what we're learning. I think about weekly.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's breaking it down into percentages and numbers, and how far away crafts are that affect our technologies, and it's going to all be published when we're finished.
All right, very good.
Yeah.
And then what I was watching a documentary, which I don't know if it has anything to do with your study, but I wonder what the UFOs would be doing around volcanoes. Okay.
Uh,
And I was gonna ask Jesse that tonight, but since he's not here, I'll ask you. What else we got to talk about, right? And anyway, I was watching a documentary and it talked about how all around like South America and Mexico, they have millions of dollars of photography equipment looking at the volcano. The early detection for the volcano. And
mm-hmm.
infrared cameras that can only see certain things that normal vision cannot see. You know about some of those cameras that have infrared vision and night vision cameras, whatever. But anyway, uh, these craft, a lot of them were like uh, uh, cigar shape or pencil shape. And you're in the show. Where did you go? I'm talking to myself again. Do I gotta add you back? Add. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't know what happened there. Anyway.
I wonder about um the volcanoes too.
Yeah. And so these things were cylinder shaped, like almost like pencil shape or cigar shape. And there was some that would go directly into it, straight shot. Now,
Mhm.
I know that for our own technology, we don't have anything that can stand the volcano heat, you know?
Mhm.
Um, Even our best airplanes and, military equipment cannot handle they can't handle flying through the smoke, the ash and everything like that. And, they couldn't handle going down into the lava, that it wouldn't survive, plain and simple. And, hey, Rockstar, what's going on? Rockstar is here. And, yeah, I was even a little bit late, and he's showing up right after I'm late. That's pretty good. I like that. So he's right on time then, I guess. If I'm late and he's here, then he's on time. So, but anyway, with the UFOs, and they had one that went through the side of the base of the mountain, of the volcano. Where did it go? I mean, it went. They showed it going down, and it just disappeared into the ground.
Yeah, I don't. I wonder if like if they go ahead and somehow make them erupt before the pressure gets really really
That's
high.
what they were trying to get at. Yeah, that's
I
what
mean,
they're trying to.
that's my only one. That's the only thing I can come up with.
And that's what one of the guys were talking about on the documentary. Jamie Jaime Masan or something like that.
Mhm.
Anyway, he's a researcher of UFOs and things like that, and so and more so, he's a researcher of the volcanoes. But anyway,
Yeah, we've only known about Yellowstone for maybe 10 years that it was a super volcano.
okay, and then okay, I'm gonna make no, I want to do that differently. I want to do that. There you go. You're the guest.
Huh?
Okay, that's what Andy was saying. uh, or the energy. Andy says the energy in the volcano. Huh, that's interesting. So now there's other things too, like I took a drive today, like I always do, just 'cause I'm bored. I ain't got nothing else to do. Take a
Yeah.
drive, and so I always say, on a positive note, I didn't see any UFOs, which I do want to see one, but not really. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
Um, then no aliens, no abductions, and of course we have a lot of deer here usually, so I always say no deer, and at the end of that, I'll always say not yet anyway, because out where I live in the cornfields,
Mhm.
it's all flat land, and the deer can show up anytime. Anything can happen in a blink of an eye. Anything can happen, and so it's like that's why I say not yet. So
I've heard people say when they think there's UFOs in the area or aliens, all the animals get really quiet.
ah,
All the birds get real still, all the animals get real quiet.
yeah,
And then there's that electromagnetic or geomagnetic thing where all these, the birds just fly into each other and fall.
yeah, yeah. And I've seen that, or like animals would just go running across the road at the wrong time for no reason. It's like why are they doing that?
Yeah.
And then squirrel gets smashed or whatever, and it's like, why did you do that? A bird flies into you. You got the whole sky, and you got to fly in front of my car.
Yeah.
You know, makes no sense. So, but do you think that possibly there's some interference with their normal activity?
I mean, yeah, that's what people report sometimes. If you go back and you read the old reports, and the experiencers, they're just like, I walked outside and everything was just really unusually quiet. All the little
Yeah.
animals, scampering, whatever, nothing's moving. So maybe
So
they paralyzed them too. I don't know.
what I had happen with me once that I recognize. Well, I mean, I've had a few things happen that I can't explain, but I don't necessarily classify it as a UFO incident. But you were talking about the electrical interference. Now,
Mhm.
normally my radio from here to Wyndham, it's a 30-minute drive. The radio station is coming out of Fairmount, however you want to say it. Anyway, um, it's south of here, about an hour and a half or so, and or 2 hours maybe. But anyway, it's coming out of there, and it would normally be clear all the way to Wyndham, 30-minute drive, and um, I got to the one place, and uh, it had static, and it practically faded out, like it didn't want to work, and it's like, "Wait a minute, what's going on here?" You know?
Yeah.
Made absolutely no sense. There was nothing in the sky that I could see,
Do you have
but
XM?
huh?
Are you like your radio? Is it XM or is it
Yeah, it's
AM?
an FM station. It's an FM station, and so it should have been clear, though,
Mm-hmm.
and it just stopped. Now, I had the same issue, in a certain part of the trip where my cell phone lost the signal when I'm doing a live video. I always do the live drive because I always want to make sure I document anything that might happen. So I have my phone camera on, and I have it on a little holder, and it looks at the front window. And anything that happens in the front window, of course, my luck could have probably come from the back, right? But
Yeah.
anyway, they're not stupid. They're smart. But anyway, anything that happens, in front of the vehicle, I can document it and see. And actually, they suggested that's a good practice for insurance purposes, for accident documentation and things like that. So not to be looking at the screen and watch the video that's way on the other side of the car. I don't even see the screen. I just have it on and I'm talking to whoever's watching. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those that I do. But, I sit there and just talk to whoever's watching, and then I read the comments when I get to where I'm going. I don't read it when I'm driving, so but, yeah, I've had the phone cut out, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and and then it came back on, and there was nothing that I know of, that would do that except for when I used to deal with CB radios, and we had somebody that had a ham radio or had a really strong, home base unit.
Mm-hmm.
And they would, drown out your signal on your little car radio.
Yeah.
That I had to happen. So, we had to happen with also the, TVs and radios inside the house where somebody would key up next to your house with their CB radio, and you would be able to hear your radio station or your TV or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, um okay, Bobby's telling me I need to get on the screen, I guess. Okay. Alright. There you go. Oh, hold on. No, there we go. Uh, I don't know why. That's fine. Just hearing myself, that's fine. Not seeing me. But anyway, sometimes we don't want to be noticed, right? Uh, but yeah. So when those electrical instances happen, I wonder about that. I don't know what it could be. It could be just my imagination, whatever. Now, I don't know if I talked to you about. So I think more along the lines of the paranormal connection rather than the UFO connection.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I have had experiences with seeing, like I said before, with seeing spirits and things like that. And I shared with you last week about some gifts that I have. That I think everyone has that. You know. And so, anyway, I had a. I call. I don't like to call it a time shift. That's a common used word or term that I don't necessarily agree with the functionality of the term itself. because you're still on the same time. You're still on the same day. You're still on the same week. You're still there. You haven't really gone anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so now what happened was I had this instance, which I didn't talk to you about yet, but I had this instance where I went into the bank and I got some money for the casino when I first got here. So I had my friend Mike was with me, and we were going to go to Jackpot Junction, which was an hour and a half or 2 hours away. Everything's like 2 hours away here, wherever we go. But anyway, we were going to go to Jackpot Junction, so I wanted to get some gambling money. So I went to the bank. Now, what I remembered is parking the car and going into the bank. What I do not remember is talking to the teller about whatever, and he gave me the $100 for the casino, and I told him I was going to go to the casino. He said, "Oh," I think probably what he said was, "Oh, that's just a waste of money," or whatever. And, so anyway, I did pretty good that day, but the point of the matter is that I didn't know what happened inside the bank. I didn't know what I talked about. I didn't remember talking to the teller. I didn't remember what the teller said. I got back to the car, and my friend Mike said, "Did you get the money?" Like I wasn't gone long enough, but yet I seemed like I was gone, 10 minutes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't call that a time shift. What I call that is a time I like to call it a time differential,
Okay.
okay? So think of that term differential. Now, if you remember the old cars, maybe some of the all-wheel drives might have the same setup, where you'd have a differential on the axle,
Uh-huh.
a rear end differential. And so the torque, so the axle can handle the torque from the transmission. Okay, 'cause without it, the axle would snap, and you wouldn't have anything. Or it just wouldn't go, whatever. Anyway, um, so in the time differential aspect of the thinking of that is that you're in the same day, you're in the same week, the same year, the same place, and something just is amiss. Something is different. Something is weird. Not a deja vu instance. That's where you remember having the same experience 2 and 3 times, whatever. What this is, time differential is where you have, I don't want to say missing time, but you have an instance where you're not sure of what's happening in that moment. So a time differential, think of that term when you have something like that happen. Now, I'm not saying don't try to cause it to happen because it can really screw you up for the day. You know?
Yeah. About 2 months ago, I left here and I rode up toward North Carolina. And when I got up to Lake Lure, I saw what looked just like my son. And so I called my husband and I said, is Nick up here? And he was like, no, he's at home. And I was like, I could have swore I just saw him walking out of a shop. Well, then later on up in North Carolina, I went to a Ingles. And then it was my aunt standing there on the sidewalk talking to somebody. And I'm like 55 miles from home. And I was seeing all these people, but they didn't recognize me. And I don't know if I went into another reality or, I mean, you can't explain it. You can't
Yeah,
explain
and
it.
and that could very well be the time differential of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And when you came back, you were in the same spot where you were, and it was
Yeah.
like,
And
wait a
just
minute,
think
what
the
was?
right people were here that recognized me. And it was the craziest thing.
Yeah, and you didn't go to sleep, you didn't fall asleep, you didn't,
No, no.
you were awake all the time in the whole situation, as far as you know, if you're awake.
Yeah.
And
I was,
and
yeah.
so you're awake and aware and everything like that. Now, another example of this time differential, I have 2 more examples I wanted to share with you, and that's a good story that you just shared, which is what I was kinda talking about, how we all kinda go through this, but we don't recognize it. What I'm saying is be aware of it, and don't be afraid of it, but be aware of it
You
and
can't help but be
recognize it.
aware of it.
And, then that way when it happens, you can say, "Oh, wait a minute. Okay, that's definitely not a time shift. Cause a time shift thing, time would have been a little bit different, or nobody would have known, whatever. Things would have been explainable if it was a time shift. But when I say time differential, all right, I'm on a two-lane road where I drive to go to Wyndham. I drive on a two-lane highway,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the county highway, so it's only two lanes, 55 and 60 is the speed limit. I'm driving on a two-lane highway. I see a car coming towards me. Hello to Upi. Upi is the author. He writes stuff. I don't know what he
Oofy.
writes. Upi, yeah, Upiatori. And anyway, what what happened was that I'm driving down a two-lane highway. I see a car coming towards me. Now you're in the middle of a cornfield. There's nowhere for the car to turn. Okay, it has to come past me. There's
Mm-hmm.
no other way.
Right.
Okay, and it doesn't. It's just gone.
Where'd it go?
I don't know. But I found out that there were documented cases here in Minnesota, and I think more northern Minnesota, but it talks about a pickup truck that will get behind somebody, an older pickup truck, like an old Ford or whatever, and it would just disappear.
Hmm.
Again, time differential, not a time slip. Okay. With the time slip, you're going to wind up in a different time at either side of the instance. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing of it is, you come back and you wind up in the same point where you left. If it was a time slip, you would have had some kind of missing moment. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
I do think there's missing time. I do think there's time slips. I'm not saying those don't exist, but think of the term time differential with these instant situations that happen that we can't explain why. I don't understand what happened at the moment. So with the car incident, here was another situation I had that happened to me. I was driving to Walmart again, 2-hour drive, right, to Walmart. Okay,
Wow.
and that's the closest one. So everything else, 2.5, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever. 2-hour drive. So you're talking about 4-hour round trip. So I'm thinking I gotta get gas. Okay, I can get gas when I get to the town where Walmart is. That's no problem. Or I can get gas at the little gas station that's on the left-hand side of the highway over here. And then my friend Mike says, "No, no, no, just get it on the way home. You got enough to get to Walmart and get back to the gas station and get it then." So on the way back, the same road, the gas station is not there. It literally is gone. Now that's a building, gas pump, everything. It's there. If I would have stopped there and got gas at the moment, I would have got gas and it would have been there and it would have been fine. But in this particular situation, I decided not to get gas, went to Walmart, came back. I'm almost on empty, and I had to get gas when I got to that point, but there was no gas station.
Hmm.
So that's what I call a time differential. The same road, the same town, the same point, same year, same day, same everything, except the time that we spent at the store, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and but the trip is the same and everything. So So that's what I call a time differential. Now I did go back and that gas station was there, but the time when I needed it, it wasn't there.
Mm-mm.
Now, there's one other little short one I can tell. And then if you have any other stories like these or like the one you shared, we could um I can't read that. Oh boy. I need it. But if I magnify it, then everything gets magnified, not just chat. Even with glasses I can read that text. But like I said, there's a lot of deer in this area. And when we went to Walmart that one time, there was like maybe about 25 to 30 deer that were running along the pasture or whatever they're going for. And somebody put some food out or whatever. They're all running someplace. And I never seen that many deer at once, not cow, they were deer, you know. And then on the way back, we didn't see those deer. They were nowhere. No deer at all. Now where in the heck did they go? There's no place but cornfield. Where did they go? Okay, let me see. I'll try to put that one on the sheet and see if you can read. Yeah, okay. I don't think you did, Goofy. You can read it. You can read it better than I can.
Okay, tell me about the story of the female clad in a glowing white robe in the middle of nowhere on a desert highway.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what it says.
I don't know that there's well, there might be a story like that. Maybe not. Well, I know there's a woman in white, probably in just about every state. Uh-oh. No, we lost her, I guess. Probably in just about every state. Yeah, there has been a woman in white, and that's a common story that I have heard about. Anyway, Biden moment. Uh-oh. So, I was thinking anyway. Okay, there you go. I'll add you back.
I don't know.
Okay, there you go. Hit the wrong button.
I know. I was trying to read that tiny little bitty.
Oh, yeah. So,
Anyway, that's what Ufi said about a story of.
yeah, and I was just mentioning the fact that I know there's a story of a white woman in white in probably just about every state you go to. There's something like that.
Mm-hmm.
In that situation. Okay, I'll put up that other one. Okay, now we're okay. Hide that one and then put. I guess it'll change if I do that automatically. It should change. I'm learning that technique there to put that text up there. This is a little challenging when you're not used to this. Goofy, call in, Andy says. Goofy, you should call in.
Call in, Ufi.
There you go. You're invited. I could actually put the link in the chat for the show.
And shout out to Jesse. He is working his tail off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's what he had mentioned on the Facebook chat, and I still sent him the link for the show in case he happens to get any time. He usually is here at 30 minutes after our start time, and so now Uki's saying a lot, but she don't want to talk. She always has the excuse of no microphone. Okay, we have that one. Okay, I think then you change. Then the message will change. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so it'll change automatically. I don't know if you can read those that fast. He drives past, then decides to go back around and see if she needs help. Okay. Okay. But she's not there when he gets there. Now, I've heard that as well. Okay.
I got in trouble when I was about 3 years old. And I was playing outside, and we grew up in the country. So, it wasn't like now. They just let us run from daylight till. And the next thing, I mean, I was playing. And then the next thing I know, I hear my mom and my daddy calling me. And they were all in a panic. And I woke up, I was asleep in my daddy's truck. And then I got in trouble because they thought I was hiding from them, but I was asleep. And the thing I remember before that was just playing in the yard. I couldn't even open the door and get in on my own. It was a big Chevy truck. and that's where they found me, was in the truck asleep in the seat.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got
And
in
then,
trouble for that, and I couldn't even get in the truck myself. So I don't know. I got all kind of stuff. I don't know what happened.
hey, Papa Tom, what the hell's going on with chat room people? What's going on, Papa Tom? I don't know. You got your camera working? I can put the link in chat here. Okay, let me do that, and then anybody wants to hop on and join us and have fun, they can. Let's see if that works. Of course, that might go to all the chats, so we don't know who's gonna hop. So this could be interesting. All right, so yeah, we don't know who's gonna hop on. So
I can
yeah,
probably look at the chat on my laptop.
yeah.
I'm not great with this, so
Well, we're gonna get you trained in as much as I know anyway.
the phone is one thing, but the
Yeah. All right. So now, do you think that any of these instances that we might be having could be controlled by an exterior force, like say alien interference, or the so-called God or source? Or I don't think that God would interfere with our mental abilities or mental thoughts or anything like that. But I do think there might be other entities that could and probably do.
mm,
Uh-oh, somebody. Oh yeah, you need to mute the one. Okay, muted that one. You can do that. Just make sure you mute the audio.
I had it on mute. I don't know why I did that.
I don't know. That feedback is.
I think there's a lot of different entities. I do.
I need background music, huh? Yeah, Oopie, you can call in and sing. There you go. Andy has a good idea there. Last time, Oopie she did call in at one time, but she used some kind of translating thing. I don't know. It didn't work. It was fun though. Still fun. So now, the other thing that I wanted to ask I talked about the UFOs and the volcanoes.
Yeah.
Okay. UFOs now, UFOs and electric storm. We just had a major lightning storm yesterday.
Mhm.
I mean, like it was like 5 hours long,
Wow.
and here when the lightning happens, it's like daylight out in the cornfield. And you can see everything just like it's sun is shining. And that's how bright this is. No, it does not matter where it flashes from. It just lights up the whole area. And so I wonder if they are not interfering with the weather and they're connected to the power as far as electrical storms in some case, like that. And then we have seen reports of uh, UFOs going into the sun. It's like, what the heck is that about? How can
Mhm.
anything survive that? I mean, we sent the ship up there to investigate the sun. I don't think it survived after it got there. The one ship they sent up there to look at the corona or whatever it was. Uh, I can't remember. Or look at the photosphere or whatever it was. They were going to study. Anyway, they had to get really close to it, but I don't think the ship would even get that close to the sun. And you know,
I saw an interesting theory about the sun and how it's not really what we think it is, and if it was just um, a gas giant or whatever, it would just burn up all at once.
yeah.
So
Hey, Genghis.
there's nobody that really knows exactly what the sun is, according to this man.
Yeah, well, we sort of understand the properties of it, but don't understand how it works. Yeah, is the way to put that. And we know that it's hot and it can
Oh
burn
yeah.
us, give us a
Mhm.
sunburn right here.
Right.
Uh, I don't have a tan like some people do because well we have clouds most of the time here. I'm in Minnesota, so we have mostly overcast and clouds, and we have about 1 or 2 days out of the whole year that it's sunny. You know, that's exaggerating, but you know what I mean. Compared to some places that have 300 days of sunshine, you know.
Oh yeah. Key West.
Uh,
I want to try to turn the chat on, but I'm afraid to.
oh, well, you see the button on the right. If you see there should be a button over there that says comment, or on the bottom, either on the right or on the
Well,
bottom.
that's what I did a while ago, and it took me out. So
Oh,
I have to. I don't know. I'm gonna have to work with it.
okay. Yeah, 'cause then you can definitely see it. Okay. Okay. Legit question for the host or guest. Would you know if you were communicating with a non-human? Hey, now that's a good question.
Yes, you would. Yes, I
Because
do. I do.
they normally use telepathy, correct? For their
Telepathy.
main
Hmm.
communication.
Yeah, you talk about how you astral travel all the time.
Yeah.
So about I say once a month, I'll get like a in my sleep. I'll get like a just a like a big download, and I don't really remember what all it is. But then 3 or 4 days later, something comes up, and I have the answer to it because it was in that. It's like, but it's not a voice, and it's I guess it's like thoughts while you're asleep. Like you get images and thoughts, but there's not really a sound or a voice with it. But you don't remember the content of it until it comes up when you need it.
That's
So
interesting.
I don't have a name or anything like that. It's just guidance or God or the a shot, the stuff, external Wi-Fi, whatever
Yeah.
we pick up on.
And then
Is that like Akashic record?
yeah.
Yep. Sometimes you tap into that and don't mean to. Sometimes I astral travel and don't mean to.
Well, see now when I do the traveling I'm talking about, I believe we all travel every night when we go to sleep. Um, some people may not believe it. They might just think that's a dream, whatever. But what is a dream from? Where did it come from? Why are you having a dream that makes no sense? You know?
Yeah.
It's not a memory, obviously, because you haven't been there, you haven't lived it. Why are you having a vision, or I would call it a vision more than a dream?
I had checked out a book because I used to walk across the street to the library in high school, and it was about learning how to astral project. And I went through all the things in the book to do it, and I did it 2 or 3 times, and nothing ever happened. And then, like 2 weeks later, I'm out doing it, not meaning to.
Yeah,
It was terrifying. And then when I got back in my body, I was still paralyzed for a minute, and
yeah,
that was terrifying.
yeah, and I think that was because your body goes into a shock.
Right. It's I mean, it has to paralyze you so you don't act out, what you're dreaming or whatever, but sometimes it happens and I don't mean it to. And when I try to, it don't work. So
Right. So don't try to force it. Allow it to,
no,
happen.
not. I'm not. I hate that paralyzed feeling, but every morning when I wake up, I feel like I'm vibrating or the bed's vibrating or something every morning.
Yeah, I usually wake up like I've been either running or I don't run, but it feels like I was running or feels like I've been digging a ditch or doing some kind of I don't work, so it's not that. It can't be that. I shouldn't have sore muscles like I have sore muscles from doing that kind of work. But yet I have sore muscles. And it's like, wait a minute, how did that work? What did I do? Oopie asked, when did you first become aware of the uh, concept of the Akashic record?
When did I first become?
Aware of it? Yeah.
Um, I was about 41 when that started happening.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what. Well, I do know what changed it a long time ago, but I think it took up until this point to be able to be open enough to what I would pick up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. And then Oopie
And
asked,
also, it took a while to figure out what was dreams and what wasn't.
yeah,
And
exactly.
the way that happened was just through the environment and people and, situations and then the deja vu. Except now, instead of thinking I've done this before, it's like I've done this before, but I did that. So this time I'm going to do this. And that started 2 or 3 years ago. But our close encounter was in '08.
Yeah. And then Oopie said, have you ever heard of a human astral projecting into a grave, into the body of a person long dead, and experience their rising from the grave into a flower, then into the air as a ball of light? I never heard of that. I don't think I'd want to try that.
I I've astral projected, but it wasn't never where I wanted to go. So no, I've never been into somebody else's body. No.
Yeah, no, that's kind of weird. Yeah. Uh,
No, I always feel like I'm just like I'm just a part of the wind or something.
I always say hi to them when I drive past them at the cemetery. I beep at them every time. And I do that because if I don't beep at them, then they'll come and visit me, and I'm just a block away, you know. And so, so being respectful, I always say hello to them as I drive past them, and then that way they still know that they're dead, you know.
Yeah, we visit this one often where both my parents are. It's right, only about a mile from here. But
Okay.
when I get back in my body, I already am thinking, am I dead or what? Because I can't move. So I don't think I would want to end up in a dead body.
And then Genghis had asked a question about waking up drained energy. I don't think I've had that problem. I've had sore muscles, like I've been working, but not any drained energy in that sense that he was asking. And I've gone, like the other night, I was at a place where I recognized the woman. It was a black woman. Not that color matters, but just to describe who I was looking at, a black woman, and I knew her name. Usually in dreams, I don't know names. I don't
Yeah.
talk. I don't talk to them. I don't know that they're there. I don't know who they are. I just know, that they're somebody that I know. And but this particular woman, I knew that her name was Angela. I don't know why. But when I woke up that morning, and then it was like, oh, Angela, that was her name. I was like, why would I remember Angela from out of nowhere? You know, no reason. And it's kind of weird. And then I'm
I mean,
expecting,
I really think it's all out there if we're open to receiving it.
yeah, And it depends on how we accept it or not. Okay.
Yeah. I had a grave visitation about 3 months ago,
Hmm.
and I was thinking, well, I've never really seen a grave, and if one came around, maybe I would try to communicate or something, not be
Yeah.
scared. And I was asleep, and it was about, I don't know, it was like 3:22 or something, because
Yeah.
I felt something grab my foot from like the bottom of my foot side, and it grabbed
Huh.
over my toes, and it
Huh.
woke me up, and I looked, and I couldn't see them physically, but I could see them in my mind, and there was three of them, and one of them had done that. And I picked up that they were like like teenage years old, like a teenage mentality
Yeah.
they had. And the one was like trying to make the other two laugh, like, watch this, we're about to scare the hell out of somebody. And so I just kind of was like, y'all need to go back where you came from and leave me alone.
I
And
guess you can play along if you have that sensibility of laughter. You
yeah,
can pretty
yeah,
much.
I wasn't scared at all. It was
Yeah.
just like, hey, let's watch this woman or whatever. And the other two was just there. And now, out of a lineup of like 50 different looking grays, I can tell you which one is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had last year I had a kitten that would come around here. I don't think I've seen them yet. They might have moved or whatever. But this little gray kitten would, or cat. It was a full grown cat, but it was a small one, smaller than the normal cat. So he managed to be my friend, became my friend here, and just come on over and say hello and visit me. And I'd call him my little gray visitor. You know, so that's how I would
Yeah.
describe him. And I had taken some pictures of him, and I said, "Yeah, my little gray visitor came by today." And everybody's thinking about the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
So some grays, okay, some grays tend to be domineering, don't know about the others. Uh-oh. Just be careful. Be okay. Be careful if possible when that species. Disclaimer: only our opinion. Be careful with that species. There you go. I know. I need to.
That's the only interaction I've had with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grays walk among humans. They appear human, but use a combination of mental and technical illusion to cloak their true form. Now that I can believe. Yeah. And I don't understand it. I don't you know, sometimes you meet somebody and think, "That's just kind of strange," you know?
Yeah, they are
Yeah,
people that sometimes you're just like, oh,
and
no,
and
no.
there's a different energy level about them, and you know it right away. I
Yeah.
remember I was talking about, auras. I can read auras.
Hmm.
And, um, so yours I don't remember if I told yours. Yeah, I told yours last time, and I didn't even see you.
It was green and orange and
I
blue.
was gonna say, yeah. And, I do see the green definitely, and of course the orange definitely. I'm not talking about your screen color or the picture or the color of the image that I see here. I'm saying the energy
Yeah.
signature. Okay, so you haven't changed any since last week, so that's good. But I read that last week when I didn't even see you, and I thought that was pretty amazing.
It
So
is amazing.
um, sometimes they will reveal themselves to select humans unknown, but the humans will remember because they are supposed to. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, there's definitely people that you pick up on even if you can't be specific, you can tell that something's just not right.
Yeah.
Something's just not right, and you pick up on it, and you can tell it's negative, and you just want to get away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, next week, what I'm going to try to do next week is do a little more work with the pendulum, but I'm going to use my oracle cards that I used last week when I did your oracle reading, right?
Mhm.
If you would like an oracle reading tonight, I could do that. I have no trouble with that. I have another deck I could try over here. I got two different oracle decks by the same woman that makes them, and each one is different for the meaning of what it is. Okay. Let's see. The a
Whatever
side
you want
glance.
to
Go ahead.
do. I said, whatever you want to do. It's your show.
Okay. A side glance can sometimes help humans see them, like looking at auras. Yeah. Well, yeah, goofy, but I think when I see the aura, it doesn't matter if you're standing sideways or face on. I see it around the energy center of whatever that is, and I can see um, energy signatures when there is no one there. I've seen it. Okay,
Mhm.
I just go, "Oh, that's kind of weird," but I understand it's something that is my ability, and I just need to accept it and good enough. Go from there.
And when
So
when you see the auras, it like follow, like if somebody has a pigtail or something, a little kid, you can see the aura. It follows like even their hair. It goes
yeah,
around like all the
yeah,
way around them.
yeah, yeah.
Because I see them, but I just don't see colors. I just see golden.
Okay, now if you know if you think about how you were taught about the colors of the rainbow,
Uh huh.
and each color is separated and divided, and it's on its own line, right?
Right.
And so that's how I see it. Now it's not the clear HD signature of energy. It's a maybe a fuzzy look or whatever, but it's clear enough to where I can tell the division between the colors, and I can tell the energy signature of what it's from. So when I say your primary color is green, that is centered around your caring personality, your heart center. If you looked at the chakras of the meanings of the chakras, you know what I'm saying. Okay.
Mhm.
So the orange is more or less the thinking, your creativity, your ability to come up with an idea just out of nothing, basically.
Mhm.
You might think of something and bam, there you go, you got it. You got a Facebook group already. Holy cow. You got a blog, it used to be a blog, y before they had all the Facebook stuff and web pages and everything like that. You'd have little, uh, places where you'd write stories and things like that. That's what you would be good at if it was still there today, which you could do that on your Facebook page, that's not a problem. But, it's not like the old days when it was just all text, you just come up with a story and write a story and put it out there.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if there's even any blog stuff around anymore, what you call it a blog. I don't think there is anything like that anymore. Kinda like MySpace or something like that. That's around, so apparently some people still have it, but it's not necessarily used as much, you know?
Yeah.
So
I started a book like a long time ago, like 10 years ago, and then I only got maybe 15 pages into it, and it was fiction.
what was
And
it
I got
about?
to a point where I was stuck. Like I've got a grandfather paradox, going on. So I've never figured out how to go back and change it to where it's just a work in progress. That's a side thing I've been working on forever.
Okay, one technique for aura viewing training, hold human fingers 1 foot in front, touching, slowly move them about what now? Oh, about 1/8 inch, look beyond the area or look beyond and see the aura. Oh, okay. So if you have your fingers out, say, um, 1 foot away, and you focus on, I guess you're talking about 2 fingers, your index finger, your thumb, maybe, and you can see the energy cycle between your finger, which I can feel the energy already, but I mean, I can see it as well. So if you work on that, you might be able to see your own energy cycle. That's what you're saying, but you can do that with other people as well.
Do you
So
see it easier like in the fluorescent lights like in grocery stores and stuff?
yeah, in the grocery stores, what I've learned how to do, is I'll see anybody's finger and finger in each hand. Oh, okay. So both of them out, and then okay, I got you. Okay, so yeah, all right. I'll work on that. I mean, I don't need to, but I'll still work on it just to see if it helps any. But no, when I see the auras in a grocery store, a lot of times it depends on the atmosphere and what's happening. Like when we had the great, I call it the incident. I don't like to use terms that the news uses because they sometimes block you or kick you off because you say a word. So I call it the incident. Okay. Um. Uh. I
It's
could
easier
see.
for me to see like in a fluorescent light, like in a school or or a church or a grocery store.
Yeah,
The
when I was
floor.
in the grocery store, I could see mostly red because everybody was upset and frustrated with everything.
Yeah.
There's everything going on. Now that's mostly past, and it's pretty much, it's still here, but it's a little bit more controlled now, and uh, I can see different colors, like greens. I can see the green coming out more. I can see some more oranges. I don't see as much red as I did during that moment of that situation, of that incident. Okay, so there's definitely a personality shift. Now, auras can change from day to day depending on what's going on in the person's life. It doesn't mean that it will always change from day to day. Like yours is the same, basically. Okay. Normally, it can stay the same, but in some cases, depending on what you're dealing with in life, actually changes your energy cycle. Okay, that makes any sense? That's all the aura is. It's an energy cycle. Okay, good point, Esther. Some light vibrate the human optical receptors. False auras are generated. Okay, like fluorescent light. Well, that's well, okay. I do see the optical version of the aura, but I don't interpret it in that sense. Okay, I feel a spiritual energy. Okay, uh, and then I also can reevaluate that in the physical sense, and I can see the physical color. But in general, I see an energy signature of each aura light. Okay,
Yeah.
so if that helps any. Now let's take a little reading here, and I can do anyone in chat if you want. Reading. I'm gonna keep it simple tonight. We're gonna just shuffle it 3 times, and I like to cut the deck. And this is from the fun deck from the one that I'm learning how to use these wonderful cards. Okay,
Hmm.
so I'm actually taking a course for these to learn how to use them correctly, and I'm doing pretty good already. But the course is just to help refresh and help, you know, substantiate what I'm learning.
Do you find that your oracle readings line up with your gut feeling?
So far, I think so, and that doesn't matter what deck I use. Mystic Ronnie. Thanks, Andy. That's actually a nice name. Yeah. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, I got them. I did that. That's all right. So we did it that way, and we're gonna do it that way. Okay. That's kind of weird. The funny thing is, I had it go in the wrong direction, but it doesn't matter. I don't read them upside down. I read them right side up all the time because I'm still trying to learn the card itself. So I don't like to have it. Is it reversed? Is it upright or whatever? Well, I had the deck facing the wrong way, but anyway, I got it, and I shuffled it, and I cut the deck, and then I realized I had it the wrong way, and I turned it around, and it didn't make any difference. Um, here's your card.
Okay, hang on, I'm blind. There's more information.
So that is card number 44. Okay, that's your card.
44, Oofy.
There's more information. So that means that you're always going to be learning, as long as you're involved with whatever you're doing. Now, Oofy, would you like another reading? Oh, CT wants reading. CT is the boss. Cybernetic toaster, I think is what that means. The boss. Cybernetic toaster. Okay, Oofy, I'm going to go ahead and keep it simple. I'm going to shuffle it 3 times. I got the cards facing the right way, I think. Yeah. Okay.
Oofy, I got you a picture of my rocks.
Huh? Picture of what?
My rocks.
Okay. Okay, I shuffled it 3 times and cut the deck. Let's see what we have for CT. This is for CT. Okay, Oopie. Now this is very interesting. Natural advisor. What is that number? 29.
29.
Natural advisor, Oopie. That is CT. So that means he's probably advising you to get more toast. That's right. Uh, so now, Oopie, would you like reading? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and it's weird. I hear a dog barking, but there ain't no dog out there. That's weird. Okay, we're gonna shuffle it 3 times again, just to keep it simple. Okay, we should like to see the picture again, Esther. What picture? What what picture? Um. Okay. Okay. Now, Oofy, you do this fairly well already, so this is nothing new for you, but it's something that we might all need. But here's for you, Oofy. Use your own abilities. Number 52. Use your own abilities, which I think Goofy does already, so I'm not worried about that. But it's just reaffirming to continue using your own abilities. Justin said yes. Justin, you want a reading? Okay. Andy, do you want a reading? Andy, did you got your tarot cards, Andy, I think. Um, so Goofy, you've already used your own abilities, but just keep doing that. So this is all for entertainment, people. So don't run out and try to do something or whatever. don't do anything crazy and act because I give you a fun card to do something. If it speaks to you, then by all means, try to maintain and polish what you got. Andy or Justin said yes. Or Justin wants one. Okay, this is for Justin. Then. I'm gonna shuffle it 3 times again. Okay, I did. I'll do hers. I did your reading already. Yeah, I did Esther's reading. That was the first one.
Do your reading.
Okay, hold on. This is for Justin. Justin, if you have any doubt in your mind, get rid of it. Suspend disbelief. Do not entertain the doubt. Okay, Justin, that's for you. Suspend disbelief. Now, this is going out to three different, going out to another, 2 other Facebook pages and this channel, YouTube channel. Andy, would you like one? Andy has been walking the toast tray again. All right, so now we're gonna. I know this is not so much fun. Andy, would you like one, Andy? I don't know if it'll work across the pond. That might be kind of difficult. So you know who Philip Mantle is, right?
Who?
You know who Philip Mantle is?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I've been, every time he has a new book or he has an author that usually he sends out a notice to everybody, and whoever jumps on the invitation first gets to interview the person that he suggests. A lot of times, Jesse and I have had the same people that we talk to,
Yeah.
which I don't think is bad. Okay, here it goes. Here goes Angie's card. Okay, Andy, you got to open up a little more. Time to share, buddy. Time to share. Share some of what you do. You already do that, but let people know that you are doing the sharing. And see that now, if you knew Andy like I know, you know he shares quite a bit already. But if you don't know him, then he doesn't really. Okay, rock hounding. Well, I could tell you what that is, Hoopy. I do that, but you can explain it, Esther. What is rock hounding? The card is rigged. Andy said. You
Do you
gotta
want
have
me to
it.
get my crystal ball?
Rock what?
Do you want me to get my crystal ball out?
Sure.
No, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't.
rock hounding. No, what is when I say rock hounding, I'm a gold prospector. In case you didn't know, and I usually am in the middle of the river when I'm you know doing my work. And I got my mini high banker that I have hooked up to a pump that runs the water from the river, and it just running, and then I shovel the dirt into the unit, and then the mats will separate the dirt from the gold, and the gold winds up in the mat, and then you have a fun day cleaning out the mat, and you have gold. Usually not enough to pay for the gas that you use to get there and run your equipment, but still, all the same, it's fun to know that it's there and you're finding it. And the interesting thing about it is that you're the first person that touched it since it's been there. So that there's that. Now, with those cards, if everybody wrote those down and took notes, I have some other cards that I have. Um, from the same woman, but Star actually, our friend Star actually sent me the original one of these decks, but I lost the card out of it, so I ended up buying another deck for this one here called ET Experiencer.
Okay.
And it's by, if you can see that name, same name, Tana Newberry and
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Johnston. Now, Tana Newberry wrote the other card set there that I just showed you. Okay, but this is from her as well. But these are fun little things, different star names, you can read that. Okay, so each one has a different name. So these are a little bit more, a few more cards. No, I think they're about the same, 50, 58 cards, I think. Anyway, let's go ahead and shuffle that. What do you know about black-eyed children? Do you think they're real? What do you think about what they are? Have you researched that at all? Black-eyed children.
Yeah. Black-eyed children. I think usually when there's one, there's two. I think there's usually two. They stay together, and I think they're around 7 to 10 years old. They come to the door like in the middle of the night. I think after you have a visit from them, something bad might happen, or I've never experienced it. I've only read about it, and that was years ago. But I think they're. I don't think they're human. I think
Okay.
they're disguised as children so they won't, you know, be harmed or whatever. But
And they're
usually,
not
black
alarming.
children come to your door, something bad happens soon.
Yeah, I've always been told, don't let them in. Well, nope,
No,
nobody comes to my door, so I don't have to worry about that.
no.
Okay, there you go. There's your card.
The Pleiades,
Yeah. If you can read that, you've
seven
encountered a
sisters.
being. You've
You've
encountered it.
encountered a being from the
Please.
Pleiades,
Yeah. And
Pleiadians.
look at that beautiful picture there. So there you go. That's your card. So, um, have you had any thoughts about that? Okay.
Um,
Um,
I mean, my personal thoughts is that we're all probably a little bit of something else.
yeah, I
Maybe
agree.
some of us more than others, depending on dominant genes and recessive genes, but that's probably true. We
I don't.
probably run into Pleiadians all the
Yeah,
time and don't know it.
and I
And
don't
they might not
understand.
even know it.
Yeah, and I don't understand any of that either. So, but I do agree. Now that I'm thinking about some of the certain things that I've been noticing and seeing, and it's like, it's just kind of weird. What would you say to someone, or what would you say if someone told you that you were an older black-eyed child? Oh wow, that'd
If
be
I'm
weird.
an older black eyed child,
Like if you were actually one that you were from that whatever that race or that
I
situation.
don't know what I would say. I don't know. I'd say, how do you know? Or
All
Texas
right.
no one or whatever.
This next card is for Oofy, and this kind of fits right into what she does. Cosmic Channel. ET guides can speak through you. That's Oofy, all right. I think that's kind of all of us, but that Oofy displays a lot of the
Oh, I didn't know
communication.
she channeled.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's get okay. Now we'll get Justin. I don't know if he's here, but I think I forgot Tom. Papa Tom was here. I could do a card for him. He wasn't here recently. I think he fell asleep. Cosmic Channel, static on channel 13. I'm still trying to figure out how the heck to get the local channels on my TV that doesn't work anymore today. Okay, this is for Justin. Well, Justin, you're a soulmate for somebody. That's what that means. Your soulmate is from the stars. So if that would be Jack, she has a girlfriend named Jack. Maybe that's her. I would guess that would be her. But they might be talking about someone totally different. Okay. Now we'll go with Andy. And since I don't see Papa Tom here, he is not saying anything, so we're going to probably get kicked in the you know where later. This is for Andy. Sometimes, okay, Oopie says, Esther, sometimes you just need to bring your own entertainment. There you go. I guess talking about the crystal ball. Now, I used to, funny thing is, I used to collect antique marbles,
Yeah.
okay, which are round like a crystal ball, right? I had this one that was, what they called a cleary or a fury or whatever. It was actually not quite very clear. It was more kind of a dark, almost like black or dark gray. And you could see kind of through it, but not very well, not like a clear one. Okay. But it was just almost a 2 inch in diameter marble. Amazing. Just clear, basic clear marble, but a little bit dark compared to normal. But I also had one called sulfide marble, if you know what those are. The sulfide marble mine had a squirrel in it. Me having a squirrel. Yeah, right. Okay, anyway. Um, this is for Andy. Past life contact. Now, I can't contact either. Past life contactee. I think Andy had some experiences he's not talking about. But anyway, that's that one there with that's a nice looking ship. Yeah, or no, that's an eyeball, I think, isn't it? Is that an eyeball or is that a ship? I don't know. That looks like a ship, actually.
It looks like a ship.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
looks like a satellite type ship, right? But check that out. And again, you can go back and look at this later and kind of try to see it better with your glasses or whatever you got to do to get it. And so anyway, I had one sulfide marble that had a squirrel inside of it, and that was a $200 marble, or maybe $100 marble at the time, but today it'd probably be a $200 marble. But $100 antique value. My grandmother traded $100 worth of glass for it because the value of the marble, she had collected antiques and antique glass things like that, and so she ended up trading some glass things that she had collected for this one marble, you know. And I had another marble that was uh, spiral striped marble with red, yellow, and green lines, the ribbons running through it. These were all old style blowing glass, and they were antique, collectible, worth some money at the time. And I probably had about uh, $1,200 to $2,000, so value of a marble collection. Anyway, they all kind of disappeared in life, and they're gone. And so I made a kind of a promise myself that I wouldn't collect stuff like that again. And here I am collecting oracle cards. Imagine that. But I'm using these though. These I'm using. All right, now we're gonna do one for myself. I didn't do one for myself on the last one. You were asking me to do one for me. Okay, we're gonna do one for me on this one, and I'll go back and do one for me on that one after we get this one. I shuffled already 3 times. We cut the deck. Uh oh.
What is it?
That's weird to have the same card come up. I have a soulmate somewhere. I don't know where that would be or who it would be. But I had kind of had that one before. So I don't know what these cards are trying to tell me. That's kind of weird. I can put these cards away. That scares me. Okay. It grabs my neighbor. Wait, what the heck is Andy talking about? It grabs my neighbor when she calls in to see me. What? I don't know what Andy's talking about. But all right, so we're gonna go ahead and get these other cards here. I like having these two different oracle decks. That's kind of interesting. I'm gonna get another oracle deck from AJ. I'm gonna find that one that she had on her show on Wednesday. AJ Rasmussen. She has Soul Wandering on KGRE radio on Wednesday at what is it, 8 p.m. I get all these damn time zones mixed up. Trying to keep everything straight. But she did some readings with her oracle deck. Ah, guess what I do every single day? Is that right? Now I didn't set those up. I didn't make that happen. So there you have it.
Gotta spread the word.
Spread
Gotta
the word,
spread it
and I
out.
do that exactly. So soulmates. No, we are not soulmates, Andy. That's what you're saying. Andy's saying that me and Justin are soulmates. That's why I had the cards away. No, we're
Hey,
not.
but you could be. You could. I mean, you could know people on that soul level without.
Well, without nothing
Yeah.
like what Andy's making fun of.
No.
Andy's British sense of humor. Andy, did you see that book? Wait, Andy, did you see that book move? What? Oh, on your shelf. You had a book that moved on your shelf. That's what behind you.
You thought stuff was moving behind me.
Yeah, you're maybe Luffy's been working too many hours. Somebody's like sharing a milkshake. Well, I am going to get to meet Justin at Pine Bush. Okay. And, of course, I think he's going to have his girlfriend with him, so, or fiance, whoever she is, she'll be with him. So that, but yeah, no, I think we know people. I think we know people from other times and from uh, other other dimensions or other areas of this universe. I think we know people, and that's why when we do our traveling,
Or maybe even past lives. You don't know.
yeah, and but when we have these visions at night, I call it traveling. But when we have these visions or dreams or whatever, and we see things, and we see people in our dreams, and see in my dreams, for instance, um, if I grab my phone in my dream, same phone, okay, same phone. In my dream, I'm actually holding this phone, but I'm not holding it when I'm sleeping. It's on the charger or wherever it is it's sitting there. But in the dream, I'm actually holding the phone, or a glass or a can of.
You could be crossing dimensions and have it in two places.
And I've had where I opened the door with the door. I could feel the door handle. In dreams, you don't necessarily handle physical things. In dreams, you don't.
Yeah, stuff sometimes don't make sense in dreams, but sometimes stuff is like you are somewhere else and you just know it.
Yeah. And when I talked about, I told you about the amethyst planet, with the crystals, and
I
it
think
was
the amethyst is for protection and security.
yeah. And when I had I was told to touch the the not the statue, but the whatever the figure was of the different crystals that were there.
I would take that as like a healing thing. Maybe
Yeah,
something was healed that you didn't know.
yeah. And then when I looked, I saw two people that I recognized, and I think I mentioned this last time. I saw two people that I recognized, but I didn't know their names. Now, normally, I don't, again, don't know names in the dreams or the visions or the traveling. I just know who they are. I just know
Hmm.
them. So in this dream the other night, last night, I had the woman's name was Angela. I know that for a fact. That's what I
Hmm.
remembered directly. Why I
You'll be
remembered that?
shocked when you meet her next week.
Yeah, I will be shocked. Andy, quit saying that. You're making me look behind me. See, now, I hope you brought up a good thing. I don't know about the folks in my basement. Well, no, I don't. I know kind of who I know who they are as far as well, I don't know who they are in name necessarily. I kind of know what their names are if I have it right according to my pendulum that told me who they are. Okay. When I asked about the spirits, I asked my pendulum about the spirits, and I said, "Is there more than three spirits besides myself in this house?" And it said, "Yes." Now, yes is up and down. Okay, like 6 to 12. You know what I mean? And then no would be in a circle. Doesn't matter which direction. Um, I guess that would depend on if you're right or left-handed. I'm ambidextrous, so it could actually go either way. But because I normally write with my left hand now, it goes to the left in a circle for no. It can go right, but it went, yeah. But anyway, it went to the left for no and up and down for yes. But anyway, when I said, "Is there more than three besides myself?" It said yes. And I said, "Is there more than five?" And I said yes. And I said, "Okay, that's all I need to know." But then I went on and asked some other questions. Is there an old man, and is there a young boy? And of course, it all said, yeah, that's who I have seen in this house. Okay,
Maybe they feel like you're an inviting person.
and I try to be. not not everyone thinks that way, but anyway, I do try to be that way. And what's interesting is I've seen these different characters or spirits. I don't want to be rude by saying characters in a bad way. So spirits, I don't like to say ghosts, you know. I don't like to say hunting ghosts. I don't think that's the proper term either. Though some people say that just for simplicity. I'll say spirit. I've used my dowsing rods to discover where the portal was, which was my mirror in the hallway, which I have covered up now. So it kind of stops some of that flow. That doesn't mean that it doesn't happen in other areas, like the basement and things like that.
Yeah.
Um, but the dowsing rods told me where the energy was coming from, what area of the house.
And it was the
Okay.
basement.
Yes, the basement. What happens is there's a sliding door that goes down to the basement. You open the door and then you got the stairs that go down to the basement. And the sliding door also goes out to the breezeway that goes out to the garage. Okay, so what happened was the dowsing rods when I was asking for the, find the spirit, and then all of a sudden they would slam against the area where the portal was. Like before I had the mirror covered up, it would slam against the mirror. Not hard enough to break it. It would just, definitely it would move. If you have used dowsing rods before, then you know what I'm talking about.
Did you
You're
did, did you open the portal?
no, no. It has been here since I moved here. I've been here for 5 years now. It's going on 5 years in June. And so, um, I didn't open it as far as I know of. I didn't open it. I don't use anything like a Ouija board or anything like that. I use tarot cards and I use oracle decks. I don't know if that would open it. I think just the fact of me investigating possibly could have caused more activity in that sense. But um, in this case here, the dowsing rod told me exactly where the portal was at. And what happened was I had a couple of friends of mine do walkthroughs. So far, I've had 4 different people, women, do remote viewing of my house. Now, none of them knew what my story was about this, about who was here. I just asked them to do a walkthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And my one spiritual guidance counselor, who is in Ohio, she's a good friend of mine, and I've met her in person, Tanya Medea, and that's her job. That's what she does, you know. And we were working together on a weekly basis, and she was helping me fine tune some of my gifts that I already had, but I had to, restructure them and get them fine tuned and correct, and where I can actually use them, even if it's just for entertainment. But
Yeah.
in case somebody actually does have a question and they want to know something, I could actually tell them.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, I have not told her about what my situation was with the other spirits, but I asked her to do a walkthrough. And so one day she does. And she told me exactly what I was seeing. She told me about the old man. She told me about the boy. She told me, which nobody knows about the 10-year-old boy but me. And so she told me about him and told me about the 2 women that were here, which one was actually crossed over and went home where she was supposed to be. But now the interesting thing about that is that, see now, what we don't understand is that as we see them, they see us. That makes sense? As we see them, they see us. Remember that phrase.
Okay.
So if you're doing any kind of remote viewing and they see you, or you see them, they see you, and that's where it can get kind of tricky. Okay? You can be drawn into them. You could be connected to them. You might not come back.
I've never been able to remote view.
Okay. But be careful when you do, or if you have that experience, or if someone remote view you, which people can without your permission. Okay. Now, normally that is considered wrong.
Great.
Okay. Um, Upi was asking if you experienced any cold spots anywhere. No,
Any what?
any cold spots. No.
It's
So,
it.
anyway, in my situation, though, is uh, and Tanya's walking around the house here looking at these people and explaining exactly what I see. She talked about the little boy. She talked about the old man in the basement doing work, which that's where I hear the pounding at, things like that. And why is there all that racket down there? There's nobody there. And why do
Yeah.
I hear a giant? You remember the old double French doors, giant oak doors would slam shut, and rattle the whole house, in the older houses. Well, that's what it sounded like was in the basement down there. Well, there's no doors in the basement to do that. It's like, where the heck did that door slamming come from? And then the old man working on this project makes 100%, you know, sense to me now. But why am I hearing it? That's the question. you know? And so I've seen him though. He was up here walking around, and I seen him behind me, and he was on in a brown suit, short, a short hat with the rim around, all the way around. You know what I'm talking about? The 19 late mid to late 30s hat style.
Like the Charlie Chaplin thing.
Yeah, yeah. and
Mhm.
not the tall hat, but it's just a
Just
normal.
yeah, yeah.
And it was a brown color to match his suit, and he looked like an insurance salesman, basically, of, of that time or of the 50s, you know what I mean. And
Mhm.
so he had a cigar, so and I think I told you I smelled cherry cherry tobacco, which would be a popular pipe tobacco, right? And what's interesting is I was not afraid when I seen him. I seen his face. He just looked like a regular old guy, hanging out in the basement doing his project, whatever he's working on, toys or whatever. I don't know, a wood project, whatever.
Mm.
And then the two women that I seen, one was like in her 30s, and the other was a little bit older, maybe a mother of the 30-year-old, possibly. There's a whole family that was living here. That some of them are still here, but the one woman, I found out. I think her name. I want to think her name was Sarah. That's the name that I remember Tanya saying. But what was interesting was
Wait, her name is what?
uh, her name was Sarah.
My name is Tara.
Well,
Ron, you need to stop.
I didn't know you though. But anyway, in this case here, what was interesting is Tanya had told me about a situation. Now we're meeting, like I said, like about every Tuesday,
Yeah.
okay, for my training, and I've gotten fairly fairly good at what I do know and what I have known, and I just had to reopen and re fine tune it and use it.
Mhm.
It's been dormant for so many years. And anyway, what happened was, um, I was talking to Sarah. Now I didn't know her name at the time, but I could sense that she was not happy hanging around. Not because of me, she just wasn't happy about staying here anymore. She wanted to go.
Oh, wait, you said Sarah with a S.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Sarah.
Okay.
And so
So she
yeah,
wasn't she wasn't happy there.
yeah, and so I could sense that she wasn't happy, and so I was kind of talking to her like she was here. And I said, well, if you want to get help to go home, and I meant the other side, to cross over.
Right.
I don't like to send anybody to the light. I don't want to destroy their existence or anything like that. But if they want to go, then I know people that can help. And I said, you know who Tanya is that was here. You've seen her. You know who she is. Go and talk to her. You know where she lives at. Because they do. They connect with people. When you remote view, you connect with them. It's on the same line, on the same, uh, if you will, on the same. Uh,
Frequency.
there's a line, communication line, an existence line, electrical line in the earth. Whatever. Everything's connected. Okay.
Mhm.
Ingalls Swan used that term that everything is connected on. I can't remember the name that he used for that, but anyway, it's all connected on a energy line, energy cycle, whatever. So when I said go talk to Tanya, I didn't have to tell her where she lived at. She already knew. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So now what happened? Here's what happened. Now this was like on a Friday or Thursday night or Friday night when I was talking to this Sarah, which I didn't know her name was Sarah until Tanya told me. But here's how Tanya found out her name. Tanya, being the medium that she is and the Reiki master that she was doing a normal walk around her house at 3 o'clock in the morning, if you know what I mean by that. And so she's out of her body in her spirit form, walking around the house, making sure everything's safe and all that stuff. And then she sees the woman in her house that she recognized from here. Okay. And behind the woman was the old man. And the old man didn't want to go. He's still here. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But Sarah wanted to get help to go home.
Mm-hmm.
So then she asked Tanya, and she said, "Are you Tanya?" And Tanya said, "Yes." She said, "Well, what is your name?" And then she told her her name was Sarah. That's how I know her name. And then, what can I help you with? What are you here for? I do recognize you from, my house, And so, uh, she said, "Well, I want to go home and be with my family," and that meant going to the other side, obviously. And so she was ready to go and be with the rest of her relatives that have left. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's what happens. We go to be wherever they are. Okay. We continue to exist outside of this body when we
Mm-hmm.
go. And we do wind up meeting up with our loved ones that have crossed over. Uh, I don't understand all that. I don't try to. I just know that's the way it is. Even if it doesn't teach that in the Bible or doesn't teach that in any religion, that's what I think happens. I don't think there's anything wrong in that suspicion. And I think if we are aware of it and it happens, then we'll be fine with it. But if we're all of a sudden shocked with, holy cow, we're here with our family and in some other place, that's kind of weird. But if we're
Yeah.
aware of it, then it'll be all fine. It'll work out just fine. And it's not going to be such a shock. So be aware of it. Anyway, Tanya helped her get home that
Good.
night.
That's
Now,
good.
I have not seen her here since then. The other woman is still here, but I think that was the older woman that was sent back. The younger woman is still here. She's like in her 30s. At that time when whatever time frame they're from, I don't think it's from this house. This house was built in 1945, so I think this is from the land. Okay, 'cause I think spirits are connected to the land more than the current housing situation.
It could
Okay.
be. Mm-hmm.
So, um, in this case, though, she went home, and I haven't seen a one peep out of her anymore. Okay.
That's good.
Now, in a way, I feel good, but I'm kind of sad because, well, she was fun to talk with, and kind of know that I'm actually making contact, with somebody, and actually knowing that they're listening and hearing what I'm asking for or whatever, or I'm listening to them and trying to understand who they are. That's all I want to know is who are they, you know? And I don't want to disturb them. I don't want to send them. I don't want to kill them. I don't want to disperse their energy. I just want to know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And and so Tanya gets together with me on that Tuesday after that. And she said, "Well, I had an interesting situation Saturday morning." Yeah. Well, like you said, around 3 o'clock in the morning, right? And she said, "Well, this woman came over to my house and she said she wanted to go home. And I recognized her from your house." And then she told me the name, and I just thought it was kind of incredible. And she has that ability to help people cross over if they ask for it. She
And
doesn't do it.
and
She doesn't do it. Yeah,
it's good that she attached to her and knew to go to her and she could help her.
yeah. And I didn't have to do any work except, let her know that that's what she had to do. Give her the so-called validation of
Yeah.
that. So that's where I was happy that I was able to help that situation. And I know that she's where she needs to be now. Um, as far as these others, I'm okay with them being here. I'm not afraid of them. I've had the boy. I'll be sitting in this chair. It'll be late night. I'll be almost asleep, and all of a sudden something will tap me on the shoulder. Like playing tag with me. And I look, and nobody's there. But
Yeah.
I can feel the energy. So something's there. Someone's there. But I don't know who or what. Some people will say I'm imagining that. And hallucinating is what somebody asked me. "Do you hallucinate?" No, but I see
No,
something.
no, and some of that might be for you to tell others that maybe don't really understand or may not even consider that it could be real.
Yeah. And in this case here, beside me on my left, I have a wall. There's no place for the boy to be standing to at my shoulder, okay?
Mhm.
And on my right side, I got a table, and he could reach around the chair and tap me,
Right.
and then I looked, and there ain't nothing there. I had the old man, if you remember in the sometimes the, grandpas or whatever would hit you on the top of the head, behind you, like, smack you on top of the head, like, "Come on, dummy," "Wake up," or whatever, And so I'm sitting here minding my own business and listening to some music and trying to do some meditation. All of a sudden, I feel a big tap right on my head, and nobody's here but me. Wait a minute. What's going on there?
Mm-mm. He's
Again, not
gotta go. He's gotta go.
yeah, not scary, just kinda like, "What?" So but, what I got from the names on the, I have an app on my phone which helps me, uh, with the names and things like that, and then also the pendulum has told me that some of the names what I got from the old man's name is Samuel, Samuel, like the Bible name, okay?
Yep.
But that would be an older name that somebody would use for an old man or for a man of that
In
time.
my family, everybody you name is in my family.
Yeah. And then, now the boy's name, somehow it came up as, like, maybe Sammy, like a junior, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's what I kinda got out of the boy's name, and the pendulum kinda said yes on that, and, um, then I can't remember the other names that I had asked about. Uh, there was one I think, uh, either Amber or Amanda or something, not our friend Amanda, but somebody else who named Amanda, but Amber maybe might have been the name. I can't remember exactly now. Memory fails, but I'll research that again. But it's really strange when I'm asking for the names using the pendulum because I can feel the energy as I'm asking for that question. Okay, and you should not be doing this kind of work at night when it could be more active and you're trying to go to sleep. you know, and they'll be wanting to talk to you, and you're trying to go to sleep, and that ain't gonna work. No,
Do
you
you
got to
think
do
all
this.
that picks up like when the weather changes, like when the temperatures drop, like in October, all of that picks up?
Yeah.
Because UFO stuff does.
Yeah, and I think, in that situation, and of course, we had 2 years where we were all locked at home, locked in, and basically we had to stay at home, we couldn't go anywhere, and that's when we started doing all this, internet stuff and podcasting and everything like that, which is good for us 'cause that we found a way how to actually generate a community that we didn't have before, you know?
That's true.
And we can do conferences online and talk to people about our things we wanna share, and where before we had to go to that place and do the conference, like we're talking about going to Pine Bush in June, I'm gonna go there at the end of May, but, I'll be there for a week 'cause it takes me 20 hours to drive there. So I'm gonna go there for and stay at Bill's house for a week, and and no, I don't want you. Quiet down. Quiet down.
Well, maybe next time I can tell you about when my mom passed away,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was with her when she crossed over,
Yeah.
and I got to go. I didn't get to go all the way, but I got to go part of the way,
Ooh,
and maybe I can share some of that next time.
okay. Yeah. So, keep keep that story in your in your mind, and we can definitely we can talk about that through the week too. You can kinda give me some ideas of what you're gonna talk about that,
Hmm.
and, that's good 'cause when my mom passed away, it was, February 1st, 2012, okay? Now, I still love my mom, I know she still loves me, and I've been told that she is here with me in the house, or energy is, and I think that might be one of the ones that might be sensing, But the one person that told me that, he said, this guy is in like Holland or someplace like that, and he said, "Well, yeah, your mom's right beside you. She just want to make sure that that you're still loved and you're okay, and keep going, doing what you're doing, going in the right direction, uh, whatever I'm doing, radio or whatever." And uh, I visited my mom the last week. That's a big cat.
Sorry.
What's his name?
His name is Trump.
Trump?
Redheaded, yeah.
Oh yeah.
My daughter named him.
Orange cat. So Trump. Yeah, that
She,
makes sense.
she was
All
a
right.
Bernie fan,
All
and so
right.
she named
Oh,
him
he looks
Trump.
like a good. He looks like a good guy. All right. He had
So,
enough of the camera though. All right. So yeah. So I went to go visit my mom for a week.
uh-huh.
Well, she didn't remember who it was in her state of uh situation with the you know what I mean. And um we had Alzheimer's issues in our family, and dementia sets in at a certain point. And she didn't remember who I was, which is kind of frustrating. So, but anyway, I think she knows who I am now, and I
Oh
think
yeah,
that
I mean that was just her physical stuff
exactly,
here.
she had a
She knows you
major meltdown.
by
Yeah,
your heart.
she had a
Yeah.
major meltdown, yeah. And, I think that's why she wanted to come back and tell me that, and let
Hmm.
me know that, everything was okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I think happened there. And so, yeah, Garfield, Andy says. He says it's time to go to
He,
sleep.
he steals the straws out of my cups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so yeah, keep that story of your mom in mind. I want to hear about that. That sounds interesting. And
I will.
um,
And your mom's physical problems here that don't go into the other life. I mean, it's her heart and her soul, not her
yeah,
brain malfunctioning.
yeah, yeah. And I think that we all have those issues. Like my dad might not remember who I am exactly, but I do understand his mental awareness also. So I'm not holding that situation against him, in that situation. When I was there for that week, he kept asking me, "Well, when are you gonna be going back?" And he kept thinking I was the nephew, the adopted nephew from New Jersey, and I know I didn't live in New Jersey. So,
They get confused. Parts wear out. You know.
and I again, no hard feelings here with that. I just kind of every time he asked me, I answered it like it was the first time that he asked me. I didn't laugh at it. I didn't. I thought it was kind of funny myself, but I mean, I didn't hold it against him in that situation, and
Mm-mm.
so I think that's what we need to do when somebody has that. Like I have a memory issue with names. Like I said, when I see somebody, a lot of times I don't remember what the heck their name is, and I talk to them like I know them because I do recognize them, but I don't know what their name is most of the time. And so, well, sometimes it'll come to me while we're talking, and then I'll feel better. Other times it'll come to me like hours later, and like, oh, that was, you know. So
Yeah, if you ain't sure, it's best not to say, "Oh, hey, Bob or Jim or whatever."
how big is that cat? How much does he weigh?
Um, I don't know, about 12 or 15 pounds. He's a big
Wow.
one. He's a big one. Not
I
as big
had,
as what you saw, not Black Panther big, but
well,
he's pretty big.
yeah, I told you about that black cat, that pin.
Yeah, yeah, you
Yeah, that
did.
was strange. And then you told me about the people that seen something like that at the Outer Bank or the beach area, right? Mm.
Mm-mm.
Was it you or was it someone else that told me that?
It must have been someone else.
Okay. Anyway, Yeah, I used to have a black cat though in San Diego. I used to have a black cat, all black, and I had nothing but good luck when I had him. He was a good big cat. He was a Siamese uh, Maine wildcat. If you know what those are.
I
They're
don't
me.
think black cats are a curse. I don't think it, I don't believe a lot of the wives' tales.
He was kind of mean though, and
Well, I had a gray and white one that was mean. He would bite. Like he had a good time doing it.
oh yeah,
So
yeah. Well, my cat got to be a year old, and we had to move, and I didn't know if I could have pets, so I had a friend of mine that had a farm, and she said, "Well, yeah, I need a male cat, and we need to have some uh mousers that can catch mice and rats and things like that, you know."
yeah, they love
And
them for their barn.
so 1 year old, he was just in his prime of his life, and he didn't have any girlfriend or nothing like that. So he went to the farm and had a fun time for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
I'm sure he had a good life there.
Oh
And
yeah.
a lot of exploring, a lot of fun catching rats or whatever.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that. And so I sent him on a good place where he could enjoy the rest of his life.
Mhm.
And so I'm sure he lived to be pretty old, I guess about uh, maybe close to 15 to 20 years old, maybe. I don't know how long they live exactly, but I guess if they're taken care of, they live pretty good, you know. And
Yeah.
he's already a mean cat, and he's already big. He was 18 pounds and all muscle, shiny black fur. I mean, he was a beautiful cat for a cat. And from the nose to the tail, he was, like, probably close to 3 feet long.
Wow.
So, yeah, he was huge, and he stood, like, what, like, about, over 12 inches tall from paw to shoulder, so he's probably about 15 inches tall.
That's pretty big.
So, yeah, he was huge for a house cat, but again, he was a Maine wildcat, which is supposed to be big. And then a Siamese, which is why he was so mean. He already had a mean disposition with the Siamese. So, not saying that all Siamese are mean, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And, okay, what does it say when you dream of a black kitten playing, then sleeping with you? Oh, there you go. Uh-oh, now that he gets in the middle of it, because he don't like that question.
He's trying to get my straw out of my drink.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's doing. He thinks he's slick. He's gonna slide up in here. No.
So what is it that you're drinking?
Diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh, he likes the 33 flavors, and, uh, Dr. Pepper has 33 flavors. Oh, so what does it mean when you're sleeping and you dream of a black cat or black kitten,
Um,
and it stays with you, and you're playing with them, and then sleeping goes to sleep with you. Yeah. So in your, I guess, in your dream or in your sleep time, it would be doing that. But if you wake up in the
I used to love the dream interpretation stuff.
yeah, well, maybe that's something you need to work on.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Maybe it is.
'Cause you never know the answers you might find for yourself, if you try to help someone else and you think, "Oh, that's what that means. Okay."
Yeah.
And
It'd be
that's what I like about doing the aura readings and the card readings and things like that, and it's like, well, that explains some of it.
yeah.
Not in a bad way, I'm not saying that in a bad way, I'm saying it sometimes it just opens up your thought process on a situation.
Well, I had a really good time. Thanks for inviting me. You
Yeah,
want to
you're
say
welcome.
10 next Friday?
Yeah, and you're always welcome, and I'll try to be more on time next week.
I'll try to be more technical,
Yeah, we'll get everything
logical.
figured out. On the on the chat, if you set up if you have the YouTube open, then you can still see the screen, but you have one of them muted so you don't hear it double. Okay.
Yeah, I had it muted. I think it Bluetooth to my speaker over here or something.
Okay. We'll figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I'll practice or whatever.
all right. And if you want to do some testing throughout the week, you can let me know. We can try some testing.
Okay.
Uh, and even if Jesse's available, we try to do some testing with him, and then we can all kind of learn what we got to do to get everything working correctly.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And but we did good. All right. All right. For now, we went over 2 hours, so I think that's pretty good.
Well, I hope you and all your listeners have a good night.
Oh yeah, and thank you, and again, thank you for joining us tonight. And if you want to be a regular with us, of course you're always welcome. And if Jesse's here next week, then it'll just be three of us, I guess. We'll just all have fun talking about whatever we come up with, and it's a lot of fun to just have an open discussion, not have any topic set. A
Yeah.
lot of times you end up going off the rail when you have a topic set anyway.
Yeah.
More fun to just have a relaxed, like I said, casual Friday, right?
Right.
So, yeah. So,
Okay. See you later.
anyway, yeah. All right. Good night, and you
Good
have
night.
a great week, and we'll see you next time.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye. Okay. All right. Well, oh no, I removed, but she didn't turn it off yet. Okay, there it goes. All right. Thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you everyone else for tuning in over at Facebook or wherever you were tuning in at. Um, I had both Facebook turned on, so my personal page and the radio shows page was turned on, and that way everybody could be chatting in the chat here. That all worked out fine. Yeah, I got my Facebook page turned on. I got the other Radio Facebook page turned on. I got Radio shows turned on. Wait a minute. Huh. Yeah, that's the Radio show, that other one. Okay, let me see if I check that. That's gotta be your radio shows. Okay. And then my YouTube channel. All right, everybody. Uh-oh, get out of here. Yeah, yeah, she survived. Even the cat got involved. We'll see everybody on the next one. Thank you very much for joining. End the broadcast. Bye bye. At least I didn't have lightning tonight.